Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery's safe and the snow falls smoothly.
Hey, hey, it's Heather and Darius back with another episode of 12 Days of Ugly Sweaters and Christmas Movie Tropes. And today we are taking on the new Hallmark movie, Christmas Above the Clouds.
Yes, yes, yes.
Tell me, Darius, did this movie send you above the clouds?
It had me close. It had me close. Yeah, it gave me a little elevation. Made me smile, made me laugh even a couple of times. So, which is not an easy thing to do. So, yeah, I enjoyed this one.
Okay, all right. Um, so, guys, this one was, uh, and you see it right on the credits as you're going in. This was based on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and so it was their modern day take. And the heroine, or villain, or heroine, or villain, depending on which moment you're in,
Right.
was Ella Neeser. So, it definitely had the cheese of Hallmark that we love, right?
We
We
love
love the
it.
Hallmark
We
cheese,
we
guys.
love it.
Even when we are, reviewers are supposed to have a critical eye to a degree, right? And obviously, we have zero like credibility as reviewers. We're just a bunch of friends who are into some shenanigans and we
Yeah,
like Hallmark movies.
yeah,
But we are going to pick up on stuff and we are going to analyze it. We're connoisseurs of Christmas movies and therefore we have strong
definitely.
opinions. Uh,
Definitely.
let's start with what I felt like they got really, really right in this movie. So, because Christmas Carol is a Charles Dickens tome, they had a lot of references to other Charles Dickens books, and I loved that. Right,
Okay,
as a
okay.
lover of books and a lover of classic literature, that was fantastic. So, like even the name of Ella's travel company, it was Great Expectations Travel. Right, so there's a
hmm
nod to his novel Great
hmm
Expectations, which is one of my favorites of from Dickens anyway. And then you had that kid in front of them who was being so annoying on the airplane, and his name
Yeah,
was Oliver, and he turned around and he's
as
like,
an
"Can I get
Oliver
some math
Twist.
problems?" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he finishes them up and he turns around and he's like,
Can I
"Please,
get
sir,
some
may I
more?
have some more?"
Please, so right, right. Yeah,
So
that was
I
cute.
loved all those nods to like lines from the Dickens
Okay.
movies in there and the different travel ads and stuff. That was fantastic. Like I loved that they met in a library, right? Like show me some books, take my heart now. That's that's me.
Yeah, yeah.
Um did you let's just say, did you have anything that you thought they could have maybe done a little better?
That they could have done better. I hadn't thought of that. You caught me off guard with that one. What could they have done better with this one? Um, no.
Okay. All
No,
right.
offhand, with some thought, of course I could, but offhand, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. So you know me, like Miss Pragmatic, right?
Go for it.
So when they're complaining about the temperature being 55 degrees on that floor of the high-rise building that
Yeah,
they're in,
right.
I'm like, she doesn't have control over the thermostat. That's a building thing. She leases. She's not paying the electric bill. That's stupid.
Is that really where your mind went with that?
Yes. Yes. I listen, you are talking to the person who, when in It's a Wonderful Life, and Mr. Potter's offering George Bailey that income, and I think it was like 24,000 or 28,000, right?
Yeah,
I literally went back and looked up the income tax bracket for that level of income in that year
you
to see if
would.
he could have actually afforded the lifestyle that Potter was trying to sell him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm really that person.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I
um
I like how they brought that part, that specific part though. I
yeah.
like how they brought that back because, and then you remember, with Scrooge, it was like, no, just one lump of coal on the fire, what that type of thing. And here's the embarrassing thing, Heather. I have to be honest with you. So I don't read titles and things when it's coming on. I just don't. When the first scene comes on the TV, that's when I'm paying attention. Up until then, I'm probably looking at my phone or something. So I
Mm-hmm.
did not realize this was going to be based on Scrooge.
Oh, okay.
And so when it came on and it was Ella and then Ella Neezer show, the nameplate show, still did not click immediately. Um,
Okay.
it took a few minutes before I was like, oh, I see where this is going. That was so embarrassing to me. I actually smiled at myself and I was like, I have to tell Heather that I didn't pick up on this. Yeah, so I was a little bit slow on that part.
Yeah. I did like how they converted I'm like losing the real name of the character in this moment. But Cratchit, Bob Cratchit, how they
Uh-huh.
converted Bob Cratchit into Bobby the single
Bobby.
mom with the sick kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of liked that. I felt like that was probably way more relatable today, right? And then just having, okay, it's because we have bad health insurance that I can't afford this stuff. Again, way more
Yeah.
relatable to today's audience, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
they
and
did,
having to live with your mother again
yeah, yeah,
because so that you can afford to take care of your child.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So they definitely made it a lot more relatable to modern audiences, like in
Sure.
this retelling. I actually thought that the ghosts of Christmas present, um, past, present, and yet to come, I
Uh-huh.
actually thought they were hilarious. Like they did a really good job with those characters.
Yeah.
I especially enjoyed the ghost of Christmas present. I
Okay.
thought she was particularly funny.
Okay.
And so I don't know, something about the she was just so brash and heartless and cruel
She
in the
really
way that they
was.
wrote Scrooge, right? She
Yeah.
was. But
Yeah.
I feel like when they do any type of non-modern adaptation, when they're true to the actual setting, the historical setting of Scrooge,
Uh-huh.
like it's believable in how it comes across. But I felt like she just was not maybe as believable in the beginning of all of that. Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
that when they went back and showed like the past stuff in the lead up, like every time in any adaptation of A Christmas Carol, you can kind of see it coming, right? You can see him slowly getting more and more concerned with the pursuit of money and wealth and valuing it above all else. And
Yeah.
hers just like seemed to like bam hit out of nowhere one year, right?
Yeah.
I felt like they didn't maybe show the slow fade as well as they could have.
Okay.
And again, I felt like now there were some scenes that definitely had all the Christmas around, like right at her sister's house or like her and Jake's old house, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it seemed like the bulk of the movie took place in the airplane, and that it was like again, like oh, are we budgeting for this flick?
Yeah, that much is true. And the Christmas above the clouds. So I that is the one part that I can't really see how it fit into the story so much, other than making an excuse for her to end up where her sister lived. But
Yeah,
other than that, what's the point of the plane? Yeah, they're going to Australia. They wind up on the same plane type thing. But couldn't it have been anywhere? Couldn't it have been a hotel? Couldn't it have been, anything else? Why the airplane?
budget.
Yeah, apparently so. And I did like that they threw in the festive airline guy. What do you call him? They don't call him steward and stewardess. But the
Flight
flight attendant.
attendants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the flight attendant. I like how festive he was, and especially considering that Ella was not festive whatsoever and not really, feeling any of that.
yeah.
But other than that, and as much as I travel and as much as I'm on planes, there's just something about it where I was like, but why did they need to be on a plane for this story? It
Yeah.
just didn't seem there was anything about it that required them being in the air. There was no, extreme turbulence type thing. It was just like all of a sudden, oh, we're going to have to, we're going to have to land somewhere else and we're not going to make this trip, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the plane part of it just didn't really fit into the story for me.
It was pretty funny though how every time the spirits were done with her, they plopped her back in the airline bathroom.
In the lavatory of all places. Of all places. Yeah, yeah. That was pretty cute.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. So tell me your nutcracker rating on this one.
I am going up to a 4 on this one. As everybody knows who's been watching our videos, Christmas for me is a lot about nostalgia. And this one is full of that and being a throwback to Charles Dickens. So yeah, this is going to get a 4 from me out of 5, possible 5. It gets a 4.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and actually give it 3 peppermint swirl pops. And
Okay.
the reason that it's getting 3, literally, it would have been a 2 for me, except I just so appreciated all of those references to Dickens' other works and like the spirits for me. Like those 2 things
Okay.
are what popped it over into a 3 for me. So,
Okay.
all
Okay.
right. There you have it, guys. That's our hot take on Christmas Above the Clouds from this year's Hallmark movie season. We will be back tomorrow with another hot take on another new Hallmark hit.
In a Christmas movie where the bakery sailed down the snow falls smoothly. Trade the big city rush for a hometown glow. Under mistletoe magic, love will grow.